All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, how's everybody doing? If you have not done so, please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that great stuff. At is Mr. TALIAFERRO, top left-hand corner of your screen. So Meek Mill has been released from incarceration as he and his legal team try to figure out some things. Judge Janice Brinkley, a judge that is on this case, has been pretty harsh on one Meek Mill, to say the least, over a probation violation. Right over this is stemming from a 10-year probation sentence that Meek got for a crime that he committed when he was 18. All right, so obviously not everyone's going to be happy that Meek Mill was released. Some people are, some people are not going to be. But what I just witnessed here, it's making me come on camera. It's making me come on camera. I got to do this for y'all. I had to hop on camera for y'all. Jason Whitlock of Speak For Yourself of Fox Sports 1 had some strong comments about what he believed Meek Mill represents. And the sports aspect of it was he didn't like the fact the Philadelphia 76ers were celebrating Meek Mill, allowing him to be flown into the game from prison straight to the game and be honored at the game, hit the bell a few times, be courtside with Kevin Hart. So let me just put on the screen what Jason Whitlock says. Then I promise I got y'all for the culture. I got y'all. Jason Whitlock on Speak For Yourself yesterday said Meek Mill was treated like a Nelson Mandela freed from South African prison. A helicopter to a basketball game is the first thing you do when you get out of jail. I wore a hat today specifically for a reason. And he did wear a hat, by the way. I want to tip my hat to Roc Nation, who has put together a wonderful marketing ploy and strategy to turn Meek Mill, who was known for being clowned by Drake, to the Tupac Shakur of 2018. A guy that was a laughing stock. They just took 6 months worth of narrative and convinced everyone he's an important person and an important rapper. Now he's ready to sell music. Hat tip to Roc Nation. This is a publicity stunt by Roc Nation and a publicity stunt by the Sixers owner, Michael Rubin, and the owner of the New England Patriots, Bob Kraft. It's all a bunch of virtue signaling. It's no substance, but it's all it is let me pretend I'm down with the people. You're down with a hashtag. His music before this was nothing. He had knockers, but no songs of substance. It sends a horrible message to the kids. We just put a guy on a pedestal who's accomplished nothing, hasn't stood for anything, but got Kevin Hart bowing down to this guy. Sends a horrible message to the kids. Oh, whoa. Oh, I get it. You're upset. You just read that with me. You're upset at Jason Whitlock. I got y'all. Let me handle it. So what I'm going to do right here, I drink Kroger branded water. I'm very cheap. I'm going to drink me a sip of this water. And I promise you, Pharaohs, give me about 5 or 6 minutes on the clock. I'm going to handle Jason Whitlock appropriately. And let me make this clear. This has nothing to do with if I believe Meek Mill deserved to be incarcerated or not. I'm going to tag until Jason Whitlock for this egregious statement that he just made on his program along with Colin Cowherd and others called Speak For Yourself. And Jason McIntyre, who's on this program as well, I think he said something along the lines of Meek Mill's music means nothing and he doesn't make good music. And Drake is the one that makes substance rap. Shut the fuck up. You know nothing about hip hop. Shut the fuck up. And Jason Whitlock, shut the fuck up. I'm sick of it, man. And I'm so sick of everybody feeling as if though they can only come in and walk in our culture when they please. They don't gotta step in or pick a side to step out with our culture. You bringing up, first and foremost, right? You bringing up Nelson Mandela in this story is completely ridiculous, uncalled for. I don't think we need to compare Meek Mill to Nelson Mandela in any regard. Second off, if Meek Mill wanted to get a helicopter flown to the game, that's his prerogative. You just said something that he's not successful. By the way, people who are not successful don't get helicopters to a basketball game. All right? You said you want to tip your hat to Roc Nation. You said this is a publicity stunt. Publicity stunt. You mean to tell me, Jason Whitlock, it's a publicity stunt to fight for an African American who they believe, we ain't talking about my opinions, my beliefs, we're talking about a label that this is their artist, right? They manage Meek Mill. You mean it's a publicity stunt for them to get behind an African American that they believe has been treated unfairly by the law, the legal system? And Jason Whitlock, I know you didn't do your facts, your due diligence on the case. You do know Meek Mill was arrested by a cop who has been deemed dirty, Reginald Graham. Yes, it's been put out in the public via investigation that one cop that arrested Meek Mill and helped batter his face in was a dirty cop. Again, I'm not going to give you my opinions. I'm just stating facts here. So you're calling Roc Nation a publicity stunt to sell records for Meek Mill. Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving. You said Meek Mill is known for being clowned by Drake. Now, this is when I knew I had to come on camera and do a video about this. Yo, hey, mainstream America, you know nothing about fucking hip hop. I get it. You guys know Drake, and anybody that beefs with Drake or whatever, you just know Drake, you love Drake, you side with Drake, you know Drake, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, and that's pretty much all the rap music y'all know. I get it. Y'all gotta shut the fuck up talking about rap music. Don't get me wrong. Me more than anyone else out here believes Meek Mill held an L when Drake dropped back to back. I get it. It happened. But to say that brother's career is only represented by a freaking 2-week rap beef, to say that brother hasn't done anything else in rap, what about the countless sold out shows, the thousands of shows he's done in front of thousands of fans? What about the music that he's put out? By the way, in Meek's Climax, right, a couple years ago, he sold 250 first week. All right, Meek Mill he's consistently been over 100,000 first week for the last few projects that he's dropped. Meek Mill is one of the only rappers that sells records. How is he not successful? Hell, Jason Whitlock, Meek Mill will outsell any old R&B singer that you might like. Meek Mill will first week outsell any chef that you love that will put out some sort of book on book on food, right? Meek Mill will outsell anybody that you subscribe to. I promise you that. So to say he's not successful, to say that his music means nothing, to say that Roc Nation is a part of some publicity stunt, completely egregious, completely irresponsible with your platform, because you don't fucking know. A guy that was a laughingstock. Sure, we handed Meek an L for that. That brother's career ain't based on no damn L. That brother has meant a lot to rap. Meek Mill has stamped a lot of rappers who are up and coming rappers. I've always given Meek Mill for his ear for music and how he always shows love to young artists via his social media platforms. No matter how many followers Meek got, he's always been, I'm just schooling you right now on who the hell Meek Mill is. When he's not flexing his jewelry and his cars and his dirt bikes, the brother has always shown love to up and coming local rappers who are picking up a little steam. He's always played their music. So don't you ever, when you talking about Meek Mill, you put a little respect on his name. I'm not the biggest Meek Mill fan out there, but to say he means nothing to rap, a culture that you know nothing about, by the way, a culture that has fucking gotten rid of you a long fucking time ago, is completely out of bounds. Literally. Matter of fact, speaking of out of bounds, when you step on a basketball court, you're on the court and out of bounds because you're that big, you fat fuck. All right, I'm going to stop doing the personal jabs and get back to the task at hand. Meek Mill has no substance in his music. That's interesting. A man talking about wins and losses of life. A man that's talked about his life stories, how he feels as if though he has a hood on his back, how he feels as if though some of his mistakes have put him in bad positions, how he talks about his drug usage and the fight that he's having. A man that talks about his impact on the kids. What do you deem substance? What you do every day, talking about sports, that's substance, that's real life. That means more to the world what you do as at this point as a columnist, and you get on set for a couple hours a week to talk sports on a debate show. You're bringing more substance to the culture than Meek Mill, a guy that's impacted an entire city, who's giving back to a lot of people. who you know, taking part in toy drives, right, to give back to kids, who signed artists and put them in positions to make money. His music has no substance. He means nothing. But what you do for a living, don't get me wrong, I've worked at ESPN, but let's make it clear, that's a blessing to work for where you work at Fox Sports. For you to now make it seem like your job has all the substance in the world, like you're doing something great. You guys do remember Jason Whitlock was the same guy to call Serena Williams out of shape, right? Have y'all seen Jason Whitlock lately? Have y'all seen him? He called Serena Williams fat. You can't be serious. Let's move on. You said it sends a horrible message to the kids. So the kids were able to see that one of their own maybe was in a case where his judge was very harsh on him. Maybe seeing a guy who's been given one more chance at life. The kids were able to see a guy who means something to a community be able to do great things. Horrible message to the kid. Okay, so I just don't get Jason Whitlock at all. I'm not trying to get him at this point in my life. But I gotta stand in for hip hop here. This ain't bruh. For that guy who is as big of a sellout in the culture as I've ever seen, whose responsibility and duty is to get on camera every day and completely go out of his way to stand against black issues, anyone who represents black issues. This is the same guy who tried to clown Colin Kaepernick, right? Jason Whitlock. Colin Kaepernick in 6 weeks of an NFL season had more balls, right, than you can eat in one meal. And you can eat a lot of balls with one meal. Let's make it clear. I think, Jason Whitlock, you think you mean more to the culture than you actually do. I'm sorry. I know a lot of journalists coming up. I got a lot of colleagues and friends. We don't look to you. Like, we don't talk about you. When I was at ESPN, when you were heading out the door at ESPN, nobody was talking about how respectful your journalism is. Go do the research over at ESPN. You were hated around there. I'm not telling y'all something I think. I'm telling y'all something I know. Nobody liked working with you. That's your legacy. So for you to come in on someone else's legacy and say they're a laughingstock, sir, you've been fired pretty much from everywhere you've worked at. Your reputation, every stop where you've worked at, has been pretty much, we don't like this fat dude who talks about shit he has no earthly idea about. I get it. You played football back in the day. You couldn't, come on now, you couldn't watch the shoes with some of the athletes you've had crazy takes on. Do I get on my platform, talk about athletes and their play on the court? Yes. But for me to ever form my mouth to say Serena Williams is out of shape, have you lost your fucking mind? To say Meek Mill is a walking L, have you lost your fucking mind? To say Colin Kaepernick is putting on for this era and for a hashtag, have you lost your fucking mind? What has Jason Whitlock done? Last time I checked, meant nothing to the community, and that's your legacy. A person that no one wants to work with, they'd rather be away from than with, and you got the audacity to talk about Meek Mill. Nah, bruh, I ain't rolling. I'm cool on you, Jason Whitlock. We good. The culture will move on without you, brother.
I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now, you're turning up on itsmrtaliaferro.com, shawty. Yeah.